2024 has been an exciting year for mid-rangers. From the design-centric Moto Edge 50 Fusion to the experience-focused Nothing Phone 2A, we've seen it all. But for many years, it lacked a phone that went all in on performance. And that is where the POCO X6 Pro comes in. Sure, it's been around 7 months since it came out as of recording this video. But is it still worth buying it in the second half of 2024? I'm Jason from Crazy Tech Boom Blast, and let's find it out together. The POCO X6 Pro doesn't really stand out in terms of design, that is if you get the yellow color variant. That contrasts pretty well with the black camera bump that spans across the top of the phone. The phone is built from plastic and is IP54 rated, which means it can take some light splashes and survive a little bit of dust. OLEDs are all the rage these days, and the POCO X6 Pro comes with the best display in its segment. It has a 6.67-inch, 1.5K 120Hz OLED panel with HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision support, and it has a peak brightness of 1200 nits. Protecting the front is a sheet of Gorilla Glass 5. In a nutshell, it is sharp, smooth, bright and color accurate. Oh, and the bezels are somewhat symmetrical, making for a sleek and clean look. You get stereo speakers which get loud with very good clarity. The performance of this phone is also unmatched in its price range, thanks to the MediaTek Dimensity 8300 chip. To describe this chip's performance in relative terms, it is very close to last year's flagship Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and is on par with the 8S Gen 3 that came out recently. In even simpler terms, this can handle everything from phone calls to Genshin Impact speedruns effortlessly. It comes with Android 14 out of the box with the HyperOS overlay. It is promised to get 3 years of Android updates and 4 years of security patches. In my experience so far, there were no weird bugs and stutters, and the UI did feel smooth. Also, there were some ads and bloatware, but I managed to tone it down after some tweaks. I know if you have been wondering, no motherboards have been harmed in this video. When it comes to rear cameras, you get a 64 megapixel main camera with OIS, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and of course, a 2 megapixel macro, because why not? Oh, and that fourth circle over there is just a placeholder, there are no cameras over there. The main camera takes some really nice photos in the daytime, but it shows its weakness when there is less light. That being said, it is not a camera-focused phone, so you do have to keep your expectations a little bit under control when buying this phone, as there are many other phones in this price range that will definitely give you a better camera experience, as we'll discuss later on. And when it comes to video, it can record up to 4K 30 FPS, and it does have an HDR option that limits it to 1080p 30. So on the front there is a 16 megapixel selfie camera. The photos come out sharp, there's plenty of detail, good colors, good skin tones, there's no skin smoothing if you decide to turn that off. And when it comes to video, the phone can record at up to 1080p at 60 FPS, pretty good. And there is also the HDR feature which I've enabled it right now, and that limits the FPS to 30. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. From my experience it makes minimal difference, but it's good to have it turned on. Of course, the file size will go up as you turn on the feature. And while you're at it, let's check out the mic quality. And right now it's not that much windy, so it's, I can hear the voice being picked up. It has good voice pickup as well. But what do you guys think? How is the mic and all that? Let me know in the comment section. There is an under-display fingerprint sensor that works well for the most part, along with face unlock for quick unlocking purposes. On the connectivity front, it has Wi-Fi 6 along with Bluetooth 5.4 and has 13 5G bands and dual 5G support. And on the top, you do get an IO blaster for controlling your home appliances. Powering the phone is a 5000 mAh battery, and it charges at 67 watts. In my experience, the on-screen battery usage is pretty minimal. However, this phone has a higher than average standby rate, and it lasts about 7% after 1 hour. While most phones on average lose about 3 to 4%. The POCO X6 Pro has been a solid daily driver during my 7 months of usage. That being said, it is far from the perfect phone in its price range. So let us look at the alternatives. If you prefer design over everything else, then the Moto Edge 50 Fusion is a solid option. It looks and feels very premium, while also packing in an IP68 rating. It also has better cameras. That being said, you do lose out on quite a lot of performance, as the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 is nowhere close to the Dimensity 8300. Still, it is powerful enough for light to medium tasks. Just don't expect it to run Genshin effortlessly. Oh, and also did I mention, it is very power efficient too. For the ones who don't mind having their phone stand out amongst the rest, the Nothing Phone 2A is a solid option. Its glyph interface and symmetrical bezels on the front stand out from the competition. Plus, it got two new colorways for India, namely Blue and Special Edition. Oh, and it also has a clean software experience and better cameras. Once again, you do lose out on some performance, but again, still fine for most people and some casual gaming as well. Sometimes you need a phone that is good all round, and the OnePlus Nord CE4 is the all-rounder in its price range. Everything is solid, and the 7 Gen 3 is definitely a capable chip for this price range. Not as powerful as the 8300, but still, definitely powerful enough. You get a larger 5500 mAh battery that can last even longer and also charges faster at 100 watts. Oh, and you also get a micro SD card slot for what it's worth. The POCO X6 Pro is easy to recommend for someone wanting the absolute best performance while spending as little as possible. It surely is unmatched in its price range. Just do note that with such great amount of performance, you will definitely have to be losing out on the camera front. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.